Void.
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 Void. With like a D or a T?
Void.
Void.
It's like the V-A-G-Y. G-Y is the G. And
Yeah.
void.
Void. That's hard.
Void.
Void.
Oh,
That was good?
that was good. Void.
Void. Void.
Yeah, kind of.
Close. Void. Void.
So-
And I'm here today with...
Tamas.
Okay, you're teaching me a little bit of Hungarian off of camera. I'm not very good at it, but I'm still learning. So it's
Szia, Mizu.
Szia Midzu. Hello, what's up? Okay, so when did you start with M&R?
I started with M&R a year ago.
1 year ago?
Yeah.
Okay, how has the journey been so far? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? Do you get
Yeah.
to see much of the world? So do you live in Hungary?
So I live in Hungary
Okay.
and I'm managing Europe for sales.
Okay.
And yes, I travel quite a lot.
So that's a pretty big area, I'm
Yes.
assuming, right?
And I have a chance, to visit also the headquarters quite often. So that's always it's always a pleasure
Right.
to meet all the people over there and bond with them a little bit.
Right. Are you enjoying California?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, right?
And
It's on fire, but...
California is always a special place to visit. It's not my first time here, so
perfect.
it's nice to see how it's changing and not changing.
Of course.
Yeah?
No, completely. I agree. Okay, so I want to conclude this by asking, what is your current favorite daily activity at M&R?
At M&R,
Yeah.
I think my favorite current activity is, to speak to all those customers and dealers
Mm-hmm.
whom we consider as a family.
Right.
Yeah.
And just as an outsider looking in, I don't undermine it at all, but it kind of makes it easier selling the product when the product is what it is, huh?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. The M&R is a well-known brand.
Right.
Not just in the States, but also in Europe. So the customers whomever had an M&R, even if they may not afford it, but they will always wish to
Yeah,
have
it's
again
like the
an
gold
M&R.
standard
Yes,
of where they want to get,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. It's like everybody wants in Europe to own once a Mercedes,
Yeah.
but most of the people cannot afford it on their entire lifetime,
Right.
correct?
Now, doing sales, when you go into these shops, do you see a lot of repeatability of customers? Like once they go with M&R, they stick with M&R?
Most of them, they stick to it.
Yeah.
Most of them,
That's
they
good,
stick
yeah.
to it. What makes them... I always say that the first equipment into an account is sold by the salesman, and all the rest are sold by the service guys.
Right, makes sense.
Correct? Because I can do the best job if the customer is not satisfied with the service.
Doesn't
he
matter how
gets,
good you
the
did, right,
customer
yeah.
service. I can be the best salesman.
Right.
He will go for the competition just even to try it. Yeah.
Right,
In the hope that it can be better.
right.
Yeah. But if we satisfy him, then he will stick with us.
The service takes over. Yeah, that's a lot of these little interviews that I'm doing. I keep hearing that too. And just to give a shout out to the service team, taking care of everybody, parts department, getting those parts out. They have a 1987 Gauntlet here that's still running. How crazy is that? It's almost 40 years old and it's still running.
That's good. It's very good to see.
Right.
But also that's hard for us in the business.
Makes sales harder, right? Yeah.
Because if the equipment lasts
Nothing
long,
breaks, right?
why the customer would change it?
It makes it tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I say thank you in Hungarian?
Köszönöm.
Oh, of course. One more time.
Köszönöm.
Köszönöm. Good
Oh,
enough.
that wasn't bad.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Sam Lab Civic here with Branded Threads via M&R today, and I'm interviewing Mike Beckman. Yesterday, he put my face on a T-shirt.
That's true, I did.
Yes, thank you very much for that. And we talk a little bit about your journey with M&R today. So when did you start with M&R?
I started about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I spent the first
COVID.
first 2 years I was under contract, so
Okay.
I wasn't at Chicago.
I gotcha.
I wasn't at the Roselle facility until maybe 3 years ago.
Okay. And what is your current position there?
I am an innovation director,
Okay.
a print innovation director
Yes.
for M&R. I work primarily with the Polaris and the DS.
You're correct. Yep. And how are you seeing AI come into that space? I know I've personally watched some videos
Yeah.
of yours on it. It's very impressive stuff. Is it something that you're excited about?
To me, it's just another tool.
Absolutely.
I don't really get too enthused or involved. I mean, I just use it to help save time.
Right, of course, yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just a tool. Yeah,
Yep.
Absolutely. And in conclusion, I want to ask you, what is your favorite daily task that you get to do at M&R?
Oh, there's so many. I think just being able to run the new Polaris,
Absolutely.
just being able to run what I need to on there at
It's an
any
impressive
point during the
machine.
day.
Yeah,
It is.
right. It is very
I love
cool.
it.
Yeah. So thank you for your time today.
Okay.
And it's always good to see you, as
Good to see
always.
you again.
Thank you for putting me on a T-shirt. I can take it home
You're
now.
immortalized on a T-shirt now.
That's right. Thank
I like
you very
it.
much.
All right.
Thank you.
See you guys.
And I am here with...
Steve Chuddy.
And so let's go over a couple things. When did you start in the industry?
I'd say I probably started straight out of college.
Which was when?
I think 2004.
Okay,
something like
2004. So it's been a bit. And when did you start with M&R?
That was probably about 12 years ago.
Okay. And what was your first position at M&R?
My first position was service technician,
Okay. And what is your current position?
director of digital product development.
Okay. Another testament to M&R showing the development of the staff within, a big promotion within. It's great to see as somebody from the outside to see that. I know that you're working on a lot of important things, but I do want to finish with an important question of what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
There's a lot. I mean, it's always fun to print. I feel like my favorite thing to do is just print. So
Absolutely.
loading, seeing the results of everything we're working on. Yeah, it's fun to walk in and just know that I kind of control the day,
Right.
and what we get to do. We get a lot of unique stuff to print on, so I think testing new fabric is probably the best part.
Of course, and it's really rewarding to, like you said, like see the actual art on the garment, but also even like see it be worn at the trade shows and everything, and people wearing stuff that you helped create is amazing. And for anybody listening, if you get a chance to go to dinner with him, he is wildly funny, a little bit shy, but he is wildly funny. So it's a pleasure to see you as always. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
And thank you. I'm here with Dennis. I call him Uncle Denny because he treats me so good, and he's debuting the new beard at ISS this year. So Dennis, when did you start in the industry?
Started in the industry about 44 years ago.
Okay,
The
a
last,
little bit older than me.
a little bit older than you.
Older than me, right.
The last 30 years I've been at M&R.
Okay. So that about 94 is
About
since you've been
94,
in.
yeah.
Okay. And what is your current position there?
Northeast sales manager for M&R.
Which happens to be me. I'm in the Pittsburgh area.
That's why I love you, nephew.
Absolutely.
That's why I love you.
Stopped in the area, always making sure I have everything I need. Now, I want to conclude this by asking, what is your daily favorite activity that you get to do at M&R?
I really enjoy solving customers' problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they need higher production, they need more color capacity, they need to learn about folding and packaging of equipment.
Right.
That's the best part.
Absolutely.
And it's just building a rapport with customers in my territory.
Yeah,
Lots of fun.
You have quite a few customers at this point now.
Probably 1,500.
Wow. Yeah.
Quite a
bit. And you remember all the details. I'm very impressed by that.
Every one of them.
No, you really do. I'm impressed by that. Thank you for stopping in today.
Hey, thanks for the time.
Stop by the
today,
shop
nephew.
anytime. Absolutely.
All right, stay well.
Thanks. I'm here with,
Mike Sonera.
of course, we met a couple years ago, but
Yeah.
really got to know one another at Ideation
That's correct.
about a year and a half ago.
Absolutely.
Okay, when did you start in the industry?
So my first job in the industry was actually with M&R.
Okay.
So I've been with M&R about 26 years.
Okay.
I started, I want to say it was October of 1998.
Okay.
So I started as a service technician. Yeah.
And what's your current position?
So currently I'm the vice president of technical services.
What a come up.
Yeah,
Wow.
general manager, and I'm also in charge of the parts department.
It's been really impressive. One thing I've noticed is the getting to know everybody at M&R and
Yeah.
hearing their stories is the promotion within.
Yeah.
That's something that's really impressive to me.
Yeah, so you know we're known. Obviously, we started as a service company,
Uh-huh.
and so we're always looking for talent, identifying talent, and giving them opportunities to grow within the company.
Absolutely.
So that's something that's really exciting.
Cool. And my last question to wrap this up is, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
So my favorite activity is working with customers.
Mm-hmm.
And with our younger technician group, and when it comes to customers, helping them solve any problems that they might have, and then watching or empowering our young technicians come up through the company, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
and expanding their skill sets. As we're getting into digital, we're doing that pretty aggressively.
Right.
And so giving them opportunities to learn. right?
Absolutely.
And give back to the industry. So
Hey, it's a well-oiled machine, so you're doing something right.
thank you for
Always
that.
good to see you, man.
All right,
Thank you.
likewise. All the
Thank you.
best.
I'm here with
Andy DaSilva.
the man that tells me my itinerary of where to be and what to do. All right, so when did you start in the industry?
I started summer of 1985,
And when did you start with M&R?
1989.
1989. So I was born in 92, so a little bit longer than I've been alive. What was your first role at M&R?
Originally, I would do the trade shows, printing at the trade shows, prepare screens. Did the first screen room
Awesome.
in-house, and
The Swiss Army knife.
yeah,
A little bit of everything.
bounce
Yeah,
around
right.
a lot. Wherever they needed help, whether it was in shipping department or building manuals or presses, they'd call me over to help out.
Awesome. And what is your current position?
Trade show coordinator.
Right. That makes sense as to why you tell me where I need to be
Yeah.
and everything. Yes. And in conclusion, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
Just working with the people, showroom. I bounce around a lot. If anybody needs help, whatever, and preparing for trade shows, packing stuff out, all the orders and stuff that need to be done.
It's super impressive, and I want to give you your flowers because there are a lot of moving pieces here, and everything runs really smooth. So you do a
Thank
great
you.
job. Yes,
Thank you.
and it's always good to see
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I'm here with.
Bob Greenleaf.
We met a couple years ago. I know that we got to talk a little bit at Ideation. And tell me, when did you start with M&R?
I started in 1992.
That's the year I was born.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, son.
That's right. This is my dad. What is your current position at M&R?
I'm Vice President of Technical Services.
And what was your position when you started with M&R?
I was a service technician.
So a recurring theme that we keep going over is promotion within. That's something that obviously happened to you. As an outsider, that's something that's very impressive to see that come up through the ranks. Yeah. Now, in conclusion, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
My favorite daily activity is actually getting out of bed and going to work. I cannot wait to get there.
Attaboy. Thanks, Bob. Thank you
All
for
right,
your
bud.
time. Good to see you. And I'm here with.
Maggie Sobilo.
And my favorite story to tell is kind of how I got involved with M&R. She was on a Blue Crew tour with Dylan, and you guys went to a shop in Utah, I believe. And I saw your profile, and it said M&R Customer Specialist Extraordinaire
Yeah.
with the star emoji. And I direct messaged her and told her that I was a bitter ex-girlfriend and that I was very upset with M&R. And she did everything in her power to make it right. And look at us now. Now I'm in the booth. So it's a testament of how good she is at her job. But Maggie, so the first question
Here's
is, when that's my shield money. Okay, so the first question is, when did you start in the industry?
I was actually born into it.
Oh.
Obviously. My dad's been with M&R for over 30 years, but clearly I didn't work when I was a kid. But 8 years ago.
And what was your first position at M&R?
Receptionist, director of first impressions, baby.
And what is your current position?
Marketing event planner.
Again, as many of these interviews go along, we're seeing the promotion within, which as an outsider is very impressive to see. And in conclusion, I'm going to ask you an important question.
Yes.
What is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
Working with the wonderful marketing team
And we didn't rehearse that at all, right?
and the customer relationship, building customer relationships.
Everybody that is in the industry, or especially that owns M&R, knows who you are and always has good things to say. So you're doing a great job
There's
at
another
it.
100.
That's supposed to be off camera. Thank you, as
Thanks.
always. And I'm here with.
Danny Sweem.
All right, Danny, it's been a pleasure to meet you and get to know you over these past couple years. When did you start in the industry?
Oh gosh, it would have been the 1990 or thereabouts.
Okay.
In sporting goods. So
And when did you start with M&R?
started with M&R in 2018.
2018. And what was your first position with M&R?
I was the CEO.
And you currently are the?
CEO.
That means you're doing something right?
I'm hanging on for dear life.
No, you're
Been a
doing
wild
great.
ride.
You're doing great. And in conclusion, I want to ask you, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
Favorite daily activity at M&R is walking out on the floor in the showroom, seeing the equipment, talking to my applications guys, the welders, the shipping guys. It's really the culture in that building. I get juiced every time.
Absolutely.
And I pinch myself for how lucky I am to have that role, to work with these people. I am the luckiest guy in the world when it comes to a vocation and career. And it's great hanging out with my people.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Yeah, as an outsider, it's been great to see. We've done a few of these interviews now, and to hear the promotion within the company, that's something that's very impressive to me. It's something I want to bring to my own business. It's a real pleasure to see, and as always, it's fun to see you and hang out and get to know everybody. You're doing something right, man. We'll
Thanks,
keep that CEO title for a bit
Appreciate
more.
you a
Thank
lot,
you.
man. All right, go blue.
That's right. Thank you. And I'm here today with
David Blake.
Good to see you as always. We met at Ideation about a year and a half ago. It's
good to
been
see you again.
great knowing you. Yes. Okay, so the first question is, when did you start in the industry?
So my first time to pull a squeegee blade was 1981.
1981. A little bit
We're
older
talking
than I am.
43 years
Wow.
doing this, and at the time I was a school teacher.
Wow. Okay.
And I stayed a school teacher for one more year.
Oh wow. I
And
didn't
the
know that.
industry got me.
That's the most fun thing about these interviews is learning about M&R and also learning about individuals as well. That's cool. I didn't know that.
I had a buddy who had a surf shop,
Okay.
and he wanted to figure out how to print shirts for his surf shop.
Where was this at?
Atlantic Beach, just outside of Jacksonville, Florida.
Nice. Very cool.
And so that's where it all started.
Yeah.
In a surf shop in Atlantic Beach. Yeah.
And then how long have you been with M&R?
So it's kind of two stints with
Okay.
M&R. As an employee, I joined in 2006.
Okay.
But in 1992, I worked
Year I was born.
Oh, there you go. I worked for a distributor who became the head of their international distribution.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And so he hired me to sell machines in Asia.
And
So I sold my first M&R in 1992.
okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And what was when you joined M&R, like exclusively M&R? What was your first position there?
So first position, because of my international experience,
Yeah.
was head of international sales.
Okay.
I had a team of about 13 people,
Awesome.
14 people, and
You've been everywhere then, I imagine.
I think I'm approaching 90 countries on my passport, all of them for work.
Do you have one that in particular is your favorite that sticks out the most?
Well, I tell this,
Putting you on the spot.
I get asked that question all the time,
Okay.
Sam, and it still has never changed.
And it is?
My favorite place in the world is Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow.
Always is, always has been. I love the people. I love the landscape, the oceans, 2 oceans.
That's on my bucket list now.
Gotta go.
With
Gotta
somebody that's been everywhere, that's
Gotta go,
high
buddy.
praise. Absolutely.
Gotta go. Yeah.
And what is your current position with M&R?
So currently Chief Commercial Officer. So anything on the customer-facing commercial side is what I do. I've got a great team,
Right.
and I love working for this company.
It's huge promotion within. That's something that keeps reoccurring in these interviews, which is
Yeah.
super impressive to see. Something I want to bring into my own business as well.
Okay.
And you've seen the evolution. Here we have the 1987 Gauntlet
I know,
running. How
I know.
impressive is that? I actually did an interview with a guy that sold it back to M&R, which was pretty cool story.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Actually, there's a little side story to
Oh, let's hear it.
that. I had a print plant in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
And that's where that machine came from.
From he said it kind of has been
Yeah.
like in a couple different countries even
It
and all over the
has,
place.
yeah.
And then a clothing brand in Jacksonville had
So
it.
there was a young man who worked for me
Okay.
as a high school teenager.
Okay.
He had that machine.
No way.
Yeah.
Look at the interconnectedness.
Yeah.
That's
So-
crazy.
so,
Very cool.
It is that's the beauty of this industry
Mm-hmm.
is it touches a lot of people.
Right, of
You know,
course.
garment printing.
Yeah.
But it's a really small community
Right.
of people.
Right.
Which is amazing.
It's everybody's kind of intertwined in
Right.
some way or another.
Right.
So in conclusion with this, I just want to ask, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
Reaching out to people, interacting with the staff, but most importantly, our customers.
Of course,
That
yeah.
is by far the most satisfying and fulfilling part of the
That's a
job.
good answer. Well, thank you very much. Always
Sam,
good to see you. I'm sure
pleasure
I'll
as
see you
well.
again soon.
All right.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Yeah.
And I'm here with?
Shaun Marrison from M&R.
All right, Shaun, first question is, when did you start in the industry?
Oh, well, that's quite a while back. My brother and myself started a ink manufacturing company back in 1990 in Cape Town, South Africa. And very soon we realized that we needed an automatic to do justice to our plastisol we developed. And we went around the world looking for a ink manufacturer with the purpose of finding a machine that wouldn't require any of our inputs, something that was trouble-free, if a machine could be trouble-free, right? So we went around to Singapore, went into Europe, came into the States, and virtually 90% of the people we spoke to said, you got to go for M&R. Got back to South Africa, found out that there were 2 M&R dealers. We went back into Singapore where M&R was exhibiting. So I first met Dave Blake in 92. And I basically tapped him on the shoulder and says, we deserve the agency. We'll do justice to it. So my journey started back in 92 as a dealer.
And where were you said that there were 2 locations at that point, as you said?
Yes, so I'm from Cape Town, and the 2 dealership locations were in Durban, which is a big area for printing, and in Johannesburg, which is our big commercial area.
Yeah.
But they weren't really doing much. I believe they were just keeping brochures on a shelf and trying to, freeze out M&R while they were discovering other things. So we were quite aggressive and quite determined to get M&R. We seemed a little bit pushy with Dave Blake, but he admired the spirit and the energy, and it's been tenacity, a good word. It's been an incredible journey from that point.
Awesome. Yeah. The reason I ask is that, like, through these interviews, I get to learn more about M&R, which is really neat. Learning the history about it. So how long have you been with M&R?
So, I had a wonderful journey over all those years with them. A lot of, I'm not an engineer, but I think in my next life, I'd like to come back as one.
Right.
And I, geeked out with a lot of things in our own showroom, and a lot of modifications, everything that I've seen through the products over the years was sort of, I used to say to Rich Hoffman, try this, do that. I've done this in my showroom. So more and more, I learned amateur engineering through working and installing and training my technicians, to a point that, just during COVID 2021, Dave Blake and Danny reached out to me and said, I know you got a crazy mind and unlimited energy. Can you look at something on the DTG side for us, entry level? And I got playing around on CAD and all sorts of things in my own garage back home during COVID. And they said, wow, have you ever considered coming over to the States and actually joining us?
Nice.
I've got 2 daughters, all left college, one's in London. And I thought, well, now's a good time to move. I haven't got any obligations back home. Let's go to a company that I've always admired and see where my ideas and energy and
what a compliment to your work ethic. Yeah, that they asked you to come along. That's amazing.
Thank you. So I came out in 2021 and they put me at the Hyatt Regency in Schaumburg for way too long.
I've stayed there, yeah.
Yeah. I've stayed, I'm almost like part of the furniture there.
Right.
And so permanently from October 22.
Okay. And what was your first position when you came?
Well, Danny, at that stage, we were really battling with getting components, even people in our own building. If you recall those crazy days of COVID.
Right.
I mean, you even had signs outside McDonald's saying $400 sign-up bonus.
Right.
It's just crazy scrambling for people. And down in the Carolinas with the motor industry, they had capacity because they couldn't produce motor vehicles because they couldn't get the chips for BMW and so on.
Okay.
So there was a lot of industry that had vacant capacity. So Ruben Swazo and myself went down there for about 5 weeks trying to find places that would do a lot of our outsourcing of our engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my first project. Now I'm, with marketing. I've been given the marketing.
What is your current position?
Current position is marketing and international sales.
Okay.
So international sales, everything outside of the US, basically, mostly in Europe.
Yeah.
EMEA, as they call it. Europe, Middle East, Asia, and Africa. So I'm concentrating on that. So, sales and marketing normally get bundled together. Strictly speaking, they're different sides of the attack. But I'm comfortable in both.
And that allows us to work together, which, that's been fun so far. Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to all the new journeys we're going to take together.
Absolutely.
And you've got a great relationship with M&R, very well respected by us.
Thank you.
And it's certainly admired by your good friend Maggie.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, I want to ask you, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
Oh, that's an easy one. I try at least twice a day to leave my desk and walk through the factory and do the whole loop. A, it gives me a bit of exercise, but B, I am weird. I love the smell of cutting fluid and the sound of metal being ground.
There you go.
So we are an
You get it
engineering
every
company,
day.
and I love it, yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, hey, it was a pleasure to learn more about you. I'm glad that we had a chance to do this. I got to learn some facts I didn't know, but
Great.
it's good to talk to you
Cheers,
as always,
Sam.
and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for your contribution.
Absolutely, thank you. I'm here today with
Cameron Beck at M&R.
Cameron. When did you first start in the industry?
I started in 2016. Actually started in non-textile.
Okay.
Running for a surveying equipment manufacturer.
Wow.
So poles, targets, all the stuff you see on the side of the road for surveying, contractors.
Right. And then when did you start with M&R?
I started M&R 9.5 years ago.
Okay.
As a service technician.
That was your first position, service tech. And what is your current position?
So I'm currently the West Coast service manager. So I work closely with the dealers, sales reps, manage all the new installs.
What area specifically is it that you're servicing?
So the whole West Coast.
The whole West Coast, the whole side. Wow, that's big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Okay, and in conclusion, I want to ask you, what is your current favorite daily thing that you get to do at M&R?
I really like working with customers, trying to help them, when customers down, it's always nice if you can help them get up in a timely manner. And
they rely on you, that's for sure.
It's all family in the industry, so take care of them.
And I've always heard nothing but good things, and I've heard that you've saved a few shops, so you're doing a good job.
Always there to help.
Yes.
It helps having a screen print background.
Right.
Because sometimes it's a screen printing related issue. It's not actually machine related.
Right.
So it does definitely help, knowing the whole backgrounds of the whole process.
And that is, that's a huge testament to M&R. It's not just techs that can, piece things together and having that knowledge and helping you, like if you're printing white for the first time on an auto, that's a tricky thing. So having the tech knowledge to help the actual printer, and then you get to see them grow. And
yeah, definitely.
You're doing a great job.
We go in and we install a machine for a newer guy. It could be in their garage, their basement, and then you see them slowly over the years getting a second machine, third machine, So you see that over the years sticking around with this company. So.
And I'm sure you get to see it, especially like going into the shops, but the repeatability of customers, and they're always, once they start blue, they're always coming back.
Very, very
bleeding blue.
people.
Yeah, right.
So.
It's great to see you, man. As always, good to catch up. Well, thank you very much. Thanks. Today I'm here with
Cody Corsano.
Cody, when did you start in the industry?
So I started screen printing when I was 16. I'm 34 now, so that's
over
math.
half your life. Yeah.
Yeah. That's some math that I don't feel like doing right now.
Right.
But yeah, I started at 16. So.
And then when did you start with M&R?
Started with M&R in 2019.
Okay.
Before that, I'd worked at a couple different shops and an ink manufacturer. So just wanted to keep getting better at what I was doing. So.
And had a lot of knowledge coming into it. So what was your first position at M&R?
My first position at M&R was an application specialist.
Okay.
So it was kind of what I'm doing now, just without the manager title.
Gosh, so your current position is?
Applications manager.
The manager,
Yeah.
okay. And that's something that keeps recurring in all these interviews. We're seeing a lot of promotion within the company, and that's something that's super admirable. Now, I want to conclude this with asking, what is your current favorite daily activity that you get to do at M&R?
So I think my favorite daily activity is it's just kind of being still in the screen printing part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a balance you have to have working for a manufacturer and being outside of the printing process. So it's just kind of being able to go back to the roots and get my hands dirty and make sure that I'm not too far away from the reality of printing, especially in a lab environment and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's, I stayed in screen printing because I enjoy it. So being able to continue to do it without being too far away is.
Well, on camera, I want to give you your flowers. You've bailed me out many times with different print issues that I've had, and I'm gonna make you blush, but I always call you the best printer in the world.
No. It's all stuff I've been lucky to have people really help me out. So to kind of hold that knowledge is would be kind of spitting in the face of people. So anything I know, I like to share because that's how we all get better.
And I appreciate it. You made me a way better of a printer, and I continue to get as much knowledge as I can from you and get better.
Awesome.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you as always.
No problem.
I'm here today with
Jimmy Manikas.
Jimmy, when did you start in the industry?
I started about 4 years ago.
And that was with M&R, correct?
Yeah,
Your first position,
M&R was my first time.
And what was your position when you started?
I'm an application specialist.
And then over the years, how has that transformed? What's your current position?
Over the years, the company realized that I'm an artist, so they kind of incorporated that to me become a designer for trade shows and everything.
Perfect,
so I kind of use that as my artwork for shirts.
Right. So. And we get to see those with your shirt walls, and it's some really cool art. I want to give you your flowers on camera. Absolutely.
Thank you. Oh, wait.
On the shirt? That's your favorite. Would you autograph this one?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on, Sam.
Yeah. Please take your time.
To Zach, right?
Yep.
Okay, hold on. To Zach. Love, Jimmy.
James.
James. Love. James. Sorry, Sam.
It's
Hold
okay,
on.
it's okay, it's okay.
Hold on. So we'll take 1 sec. Anytime. Back. Are we still on?
Dream come true.
I'll keep the pen.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam, wait. There's something on your shoulder? What is that?
Yeah,
okay, sorry.
I knew it was coming.
No, what are you talking about?
But you actually did have something.
Really? Oh. Good one.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Really?
Okay, now that we're done with
Continue.
signing autographs, I knew you were important, but geez, signing autographs mid-interview is important.
What's so funny?
Okay, so in conclusion, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R other than signing autographs?
I have a lot of favorite activities at M&R.
Okay.
I would say first one is probably messing with Cody.
Yeah.
He's about this high, little guy. You can't miss him. Actually, you could miss him. He's like a needle in a haystack. He runs around all the time. So, besides that, I just love the people.
Right.
You know, they kind of keep me going.
Absolutely.
And I love creating artwork.
Right.
I love to see my artwork at shows or anywhere, and
You
know
get
what I
to
mean?
express yourself. Yeah, that's amazing.
And as you just saw, I have a couple fans.
Yeah, I've
fan
heard.
base.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thanks for stopping
Thank you,
by.
Sam. Thank you.
Good talking to you.
This is what, the late night host with Sam, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
exactly.
Thank
Late
you.
night.
Oh yeah, right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sam.
Today I'm here with
Patrick Lashbrook.
And Patrick, when did you start in the industry?
I started roughly in 2008. I started a screen printing shop with a buddy of mine while we were in college.
Very cool.
In a literal garage. My first job was actually 1,000-piece order.
Oh my gosh.
Manual printing, yeah.
One color or multi?
One color,
Okay.
thank goodness.
That makes
Yeah,
it a little
yeah,
bit
thank
easier.
goodness.
Did you go to like YouTube University to learn how to print, or did you just trial and error?
No, and back then, I mean, I'm sure YouTube was around at some point,
Yeah,
but it was
barely,
not
right.
like it is today,
Right.
right? No.
Just trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error and kind of
Impressive.
figure it out. Luckily, it was a one color, right? So couldn't mess it up.
It
too
worked
bad.
out.
Yeah, worked
So,
out well.
in that journey, when did you then come to M&R?
So our business grew and grew. We ended up buying our first M&R press, which was a Diamondback R series.
Okay.
That was about 3 years into the company, and then we grew and grew and grew again. I sold my portion of the company, and one of the first calls I made was to M&R, to Rich Hoffman back in that day, and next thing I knew, I was a digital service technician for when the iImage series rolled out. So I was installing iImage machine number like 5 or 6 or 7.
Wow,
something
so
like
from
that.
the very beginning.
So a long
Yeah.
time ago. So I've been with M&R for roughly like 10 or so years, something like that.
So your first position was a service tech with
Yep.
specifically
digital,
on the
just the digital service technician.
right. And then what is your current position with M&R?
So currently I am a product manager for M&R. So I manage the digital squeegee, the Polaris, now the Polaris S4, and then what we'll call our core equipment. So presses, dryers, kind of like the core stuff, right?
I pretty much go to every trade show that you guys go to, and it's really impressive to see how digital has come along in such a short amount of time. And I know you have a lot to do with that, so I want to give you your flowers on camera and tell you how impressive that is.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
In conclusion, I want to ask you, what is your favorite current daily activity at M&R?
So I work remotely. So I'm based out of Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
When I do get to go to Chicago, it's always a blast. I get to see a lot of the projects that I've been working on, right? Like in person. But honestly, day to day, my favorite things are like collaborating with the other product team guys and gals, and working with the engineers to really just kind of, figure out what we're going to do next. What's the next evolution of the digital squeegee or the Polaris or whatever it may be, right? Thinking of new ideas to get out to the customers.
I know you guys are on the forefront of innovation, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great
man.
to meet you,
too.
and we'll be talking more.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I'm here with
Ryan Barger.
All right, Ryan. When did you start in the industry?
Oh boy, I can remember it perfectly. It was October of 1988.
Ooh, a little bit older than I am.
Yeah, that's the gravy.
When did you start with M&R?
It would have been actually I started in 1999. Left in 2001, came back in 2002.
Oh, you couldn't get enough.
Couldn't get enough.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
What was your first position at M&R?
Service technician.
Okay. And your current position is?
Regional sales manager.
I know. Another testament. So all these interviews I'm doing, I keep seeing promotion within the company, which is very impressive to see. It's something that I want to bring to my own company as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and in conclusion, I want to ask you, what is your favorite daily activity?
Currently, my favorite daily activity is probably assisting customers with problems.
And how big is your customer base about?
5 states.
Wow.
Yeah, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Kansas.
So
I mean, from the very smallest of a garage shop to the largest. Yeah.
They're all important. Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing too that I think M&R has made big improvements in is treating that smaller customer the same as they're treating that customer with a ton of autos. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, yesterday you gave me a Barger buck.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't use it so that I can put it on the wall in my shop. So you'll be immortalized in the shop. It was a pleasure to see you as always. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. I'm Sam Lapcivic with Branded Threads via M&R, and I'm here today with...
I'm Andrea Bardenheuer, Vice President of Sales.
Okay, and my first question is, when did you start in the industry?
So I've been in this industry for about 28 years.
And how long, in that 28 years, how much of that has been with M&R?
So I've been with M&R 24 years.
24 years. And what was your first position with M&R?
So from the 28 years, I've always been selling M&R.
Okay.
So before M&R, I was selling M&R products with somebody else.
Gotcha.
And then 24 years with M&R.
Okay. And so your first position was like a sales rep?
So my first position with M&R was actually, we had an office in Miami.
Okay.
And I was the branch manager for that office.
It's so fun to do these interviews because I'm learning these things about M&R that I didn't know. Like I didn't know there was a Miami office.
Yeah, we had an office until 2019. Right before COVID, we decided
I had no idea.
to close the branch in Miami.
Wow.
I was the branch manager and I did sales. From that branch, we did equipment sales, parts sales, service, and my main role was with Latin America.
Okay.
So I was in charge of all the sales for Latin America and the local area in South Florida.
Okay. And what is your current position at M&R?
So after we closed the Miami branch, I went to be the international sales director.
Okay.
And short after that, I went from being international sales director to vice president of sales.
Yeah. And that's another thing through these interviews that I just keep hearing repeatedly over and over again is the promotion within at the company, which as an outsider is very impressive to see and something that I hope to bring to my own company as well.
Yep.
So in conclusion, my final question is, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
So because I'm in charge of sales, I have about 12 salespeople that work with me. And my favorite part is when I talk to all of them.
Absolutely.
So I try to connect with them and just hear what their needs are, what the opportunities, how can we close this deal. So those are my favorite calls of the day.
Absolutely. And it's impressive to see that, and it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you, Andrea.
Sam,
good to see you. Yes, thank you. I'm here with
Zac Biberstine.
Good to see you. Last time I saw you, you bought me M&R. You bought me In and Out. Thank you again.
There we go.
I got M&R on the brain.
That's all right.
All right. When did you start in the industry?
I started in the industry kind of by accident.
Okay.
Probably somewhere between 15 and 20 years ago. I was a college professor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, real long story, short version. I needed a summer job, teach an adjunct. Don't teach in the summer a lot.
Yeah.
And I went and worked for what I thought was a friend's business. He said, "You know how to screen print, right?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I get there, and it's Abercrombie.
Oh, wow.
And just kind of fell into that, fell into a long-time role at Adidas.
Right.
And then found my way here.
Wow. And when did you start with M&R?
I started with M&R just over 2 years ago.
Okay. And what is the first position that you had was?
So I focused on technical direction for EMEA.
Okay.
So 2 years ago when I started, we were really focusing on bringing back what was happening in other parts of the world.
Okay.
And so I was taking some of the digital products and trying to build a technical network and support network for our operations and installations overseas.
Okay. And what is that your current position, or are you in a different position now?
No, I'm actually managing some of the digital product. I'm managing some of the future products. So
Yeah.
I'm on the product team, on the product management team, and I focus on things that are kind of what's next.
It's very impressive to see the development. I know I see it at the shows, so you're doing a great job at that.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
in conclusion, I want to ask, what is your favorite daily activity at M&R?
It's a fun place.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
You've been there. You
Yeah,
spend time
yeah,
there.
yeah.
The atmosphere is awesome. But really, for me, it's finding those epiphanies. And I know that sounds bizarre, but in the moments, it's pushing the boundaries of what can be next.
Absolutely.
And trying things that you think could be, and figuring out you can do something nobody else has done before.
As an outsider, it is definitely a privilege to see all the innovation that's coming along with M&R, and I know that you're a big part of that. So, thank you. It's always good to talk to you, and hopefully I'll see you at In-N-Out again.
Of course.
Thanks.
All right.